from backup using the pg_restore tool. And I'm also going to show you how to restore from backup using pgadmin tool. In both cases, I'm going to be creating a brand new database and will then restore from backup into those databases. Hello there. In this video, we are going to be restoring a PostgreSQL database from backup using the pg_restore tool. Before we do that, we are going to create a new database using the PSQL shell. So locate your PostgreSQL folder and then click on the SQL shell, which is a PSQL, and that will give you this screen here. So just press tab a few times to provide different answers. So the server is localhost, the database is Postgres, the port is 5432. So just keep pressing enter. The username is Postgres. Press enter again. Now you need to enter a password, which will be the password that you entered when the database was created. Once you've done that, press enter. If successful, you will get this Postgres and this hash symbol. So now I want to create a brand new database that I will restore a previous backup into. So to do that, you type in the command create, okay, space, database, space, and then you give the database a name. I'm going to call this DVD rental, and I give it a number 2 because I've already got a database called DVD rental. And then you terminate that with a semicolon. Very important, you add the semicolon to indicate the end of the statement. Once you've done that, press enter, and if everything is successful, it will return to the Postgres hash symbol, which indicates that the database would have been created. So we'll give it a few minutes to create that, and if there's any errors, it will display. You can see here it's returned create database, and it's returned the Postgres command, which means the database would have been created. So let's open up the pgadmin tool and quickly check to see if the new database is located there. This is my pgadmin. You can see here I've got a database called DVD rental. This is the new database I've just created, so I call the DVD rental 2. This is my original DVD rental. If I expand that, you will see that the database is kind of like empty. If I click on the schema, you can see there's a public schema, but if you look here, there are no tables. That's an indication that it's actually empty. So what I'm going to do, I am going to be restoring from backup, the backup I took of this DVD rental. I'm going to restore that into this new database called DVD rental 2. What you need to do is open up either your command prompt if you're on a window or the terminal if you're on a Mac. So I'm on a Windows, so this is my command prompt. I'm going to right click and go run as administrator, and that will give me the command prompt logged in as an administrator. So what I need to do, first thing I need to do is change the directory to the C drive. So I just do cd ... that will change it back one directory, cd ... it will take it back another level, and I'll type in cls to clear my screen. All right, so the next thing I want to do is point this to the location of my Postgres installation. So to do that, I need to locate my Postgres installation and also the bin directory within that installation. Postgres installation is usually in your programs files. So this is my programs files. So I'm going to locate my Postgres. This is my Postgres folder. I'll click on 10, click on bin, just highlight the path. I'll copy that and open up my command prompt, type in cd to change directory, do a space, and then paste that location into it, press enter, and I now have the drive pointing to the bin directory. So now that I'm inside the PostgreSQL installation folder and the bin directory, I can now use the pg_restore tool to restore from backup into the new database I created. So this is the pg_restore statement I'm going to execute to implement the restore from backup. So I'm going to use pg_restore tool and use a dash to specify the name of the database that I'm restoring the backup into. I created a new database called DVD Rental 2. And notice I've got a dash capital U. Basically, this means the username I'm going to use to connect to the database. And the username I'm going to use is Postgres. I've got dash verbose. In computing, verbose basically refers to a mode or setting that displays or gets extended information. And then here is where I'm picking up the backup that was taken. This is the location of the backup folder. So I'm picking up the backup from here. I'm restoring it into this new database called DVD2 rental. So I'm just going to copy that path into this bin directory path. All right, so now you can see here it's asking me for a password. So once I enter the password, the backup should begin. So I'm just going to enter my password. And once I do that, the restore should commence. So I'm going to just, hopefully I've got my password incorrect. Okay, my password is wrong, so I need to check that again. I'll clear that and paste that path into again. Now let's try again with my password. So I'll type it in again. Okay, you can see the password is correct. Now it's doing the restore from backup into the new database I created. So let's go and check the new database, and we should see the tables have been restored. So I'm in the PG admin tool. So let's expand the database, which is this DVD rental. This is the database I've just restored into. So I'm going to see here the tables are now there. I now have 15 tables, which means the restoration was successful. So that's basically how you can use the pg_restore tool to restore a database from backup. Thanks for watching, and bye for now. Hello there. In this video, we are going to restore a PostgreSQL database from backup using the pgadmin tool. Before we do that, we are going to create a brand new database using the pgadmin tool and then restore a previous backup into that new database. So this is my pgadmin tool. So the first thing I want to do is create a brand new database. So I've already got three databases. It tells you there. So if I click on the plus, I've got DVD rental 2. So I'm going to create another one called DVD rental 3. So I'll right click where it says databases and go create database. I'll give it a name. I'll call it DVD rental. This will be number 3. So once you've given the database a name, just click on save, and that should create the new database. You can see now it has changed to 4. So it has now created a database. So if I expand, you see I've got DVD rental 3, which is the new database I have just created. So let's quickly take a look. So if I expand the new database and take a look at the schema, which is the public schema, if I click on tables, you'll notice there are no tables. So that's an indication that the database has not been restored. So what I'm now going to do is restore from backup. So I'm going to right click on the new database, which is DVD Rental 3, and click on the restore option. And here the format is going to be a custom or a tar. The file I saved the database as was a tar file. So now I need to locate the location of the database from backup. All right, so if you have the format here, you click on it, click all files so that you can see. So these are my tar files. I've got DVD rental tar. So I'm going to click on that. You can see it pops it in there. I'll click select. Okay, so now I have the location. I need to select the role name. So I'm going to select Postgres as a role name, and I just click the restore to begin the restoration. So it tells me restoring backup on the server, says successfully completed. Tells me the duration it took. So you can click here for details, and it tells you when it started and what it has done. The status successfully completed. So I'm just going to click this X to exit out. Now let's take a look at the database that has been restored. We should have some tables in there. So I'm going to expand that and then expand the schema. And within the schema, what I'm interested in really is the table. Sometimes it may not show up immediately. You may have to refresh. So I'm going to right click and click refresh. If you notice that a refresh doesn't actually repopulate the database, you can just right click and disconnect the database and go back in, and that should hopefully populate the backup that you've just restored. So I'm going to click on the schema again, and if I click on this table sync, you can see now have 15 tables showing, which means the backup has been successful. So that's basically how you can use pgadmin tool to restore a PostgreSQL database from backup. That is it for this video. Thank you for watching. Bye for now. Hello there. In this video, I will introduce you to PostgreSQL Tablespace. What is a tablespace? A tablespace is a location on a disk where PostgreSQL stores data containing database objects. Database objects include indexes, tables, and so on. PostgreSQL uses a table space to map a logical name to a physical location on a disk. Postgres comes with two default table spaces. The first table space is called PG_default. This table space stores all the user related data. The second default table space is called PG_global, which stores all the global data. The table spaces allow you to control the disk layout of PostgreSQL. There are a couple of distinct advantages of using table spaces. The first advantage is that if a partition on which the cluster was initialized is running out of space, you can create a new table space on a different partition and use it until you reconfigure the system. The second distinct advantage of using tablespace is that you can use the statistics of database objects, the usage of the database object, to optimize the performance of the databases. For example, you can place the frequent access indexes or tables on a device or devices that performs very fast, e.g. a solid state device, SSD, and put the tables containing archive data which is not really used on slower devices. So you can use the statistics from that to organize and optimize the performance of the databases. So that's it for this quick introduction to PostgreSQL Tablespace. Hello there. In this video, I'll be showing you how to create a PostgreSQL tablespace. To create a tablespace in PostgreSQL, you have to use the create tablespace statement. So something like this. So you start with a create tablespace followed by the name of the tablespace. You specify the owner and then you specify the location where the tablespace is going to be created in. When you are creating a new tablespace, the name of the tablespace should not begin with the PG underscore because these names are reserved for the system tablespaces. By default, the user who executed the create tablespace is the owner of the tablespace. So the statement allows you to assign the ownership of the tablespace to another specified user. So where it's got owner, this is where you will specify a name for the tablespace if you don't want to be the owner of the tablespace. So let's create a directory for the tablespace. So on my local C drive, I'm just going to right click and create a new folder, and I'm going to call the folder, I'm just going to call it PG, stands for Postgres, and inside that PG I'm going to create another directory and I'm going to call that data, and then inside that data I'm going to create another directory and I'm going to call this DVD rental. I've got a database called DVD rental. So this is the path. If I click on this, this is the path. This is going to be the path for my tablespace. When I specify to create a tablespace in the location, I'm going to provide this directory path for my tablespace. So to execute a query that will create a tablespace, I've opened up my PG admin tool. So I'm going to expand the databases. I'm going to click on the DVD rental database. I'm going to click on tools and click on query tool. And that will give me my query window where I can execute my query. So this is the statement to create the tablespace. You use the create tablespace statement followed by the name for the tablespace. I'm calling it DVD rental. The location is this. Earlier I created a directory for the tablespace, which is what I've specified here. So now I'm going to click on this symbol here to execute it. It tells me error, table location must be an absolute path. So I made an error in the path, so I need to fix that. So I forgot, should have placed a slash next to the C here, and that should create the absolute path it's complaining about. So let's try again and execute. And you can see here query returned successful. So it says query returned successful. So it has successfully created the table space. So if we take a look at the directory where I created it, you can see here this is a table space that has been created. You can see the path here that I specified, and this is what it has created. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to create another one, but this time from the pgadmin GUI. So I create a folder. I'm going to call it DVD rental. All right, so I'm going to create another table space using the pgadmin GUI. So to create a table space from the GUI, so I'm just going to collapse these databases. You can see here we've got an area for table spaces. So if I expand that, you can see this is a table space I created using this create table space statement. That's the name there, and that's it appearing here. And these two are the default table spaces, pg_default, which basically is used to store user related data, and then the pg_global, which stores global related data. So to create a new table space from this table space menu, you just right click and go create table space. You give it a name. This time I'm going to call it DVD rental, and I'm going to make it number 2 and click on definition. In the definition is where you specify the path. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to paste in the path that I've specified. Okay, so I'm just going to get rid of this bit here. So I specify the path here. It's going to create it in C drive in my directory called PG data. I need to get rid of, I've got 2 slashes here, so that's how it should be. I created another directory called DVD rental 2. So this is where I expect it to create it in. So that is the path. I'll get rid of the quotes, and once you've done that, click save, and that should create the table space for you. So if I refresh this table space, actually no need to refresh, you can see it here. It's created a table space called DVD rental 2. So I've showed you a couple of ways that you can use to create a table space. So that's it for this video. Thank you for watching. Bye for now. Hello there. Once a table space has been created, you can change its definition by using the alter table space statement, just like this. The alter table space followed by the action. PostgreSQL provides some actions such as renaming a table space. So you can rename a table space. Another action that you can do is change the ownership of the table space. So these are some of the actions that you can perform to change the definition of a table space. So to change the name of a table space, you use the statement alter table space followed by the name of the table space you're trying to make the modification to, and then you use the rename word, say rename to, and then you specify a new name. You can also change the owner of a table space by using this statement here. Specify the table space name, and then you use owner to, and then you specify the new owner. So let's go ahead and make a modification to one of our table spaces. So to begin, I'm just going to click on one of these databases to get the query window up. So I go to tools, click on query tools, and in here I'm just going to paste in a query that I previously staged. So I'm using the alter table space statement on this table space called DVD rental, which is this one here, and I'm renaming it to DVD rental underscore table space. So I'm just going to execute by clicking on this icon here, and you can see here it says query returned successfully. So if I refresh the table spaces, you'll see that the name has changed. You can see here it's changed to DVD rental underscore table space. So I have successfully changed the definition of that table space. So that is it for this video. In this video, I introduced you to changing the definition of a table space. So once a table space has been created, you can change its definition. You can change the ownership of the table space, or you can also rename the table space. I showed you an example of renaming the table space. Thanks for watching. Bye for now. Hello there. Once you have created a table space, you can also remove the table space by using the drop table space statement. So this is what the statement will look like. You would need to specify the name of the table space after the drop table space clause. The if exist helps you avoid the error of removing a non-existent table space. Only table space owner or the super user can delete table spaces. Also, before deleting the table space, you need to make sure that it is empty. What that means is that there should be no database or database objects inside the table space. So let me show you how to delete a table space. So the table space I'm going to delete is this one here, called DVD rental underscore table space. There are no databases or database objects inside. It's empty, so I do not expect any issues when deleting it. So I'm just going to paste in the query. This is a query. You type in drop table space followed by the name of the table space. So let me just execute by clicking on this icon here, and you can see here the query returned successfully. That means the table space would have been deleted.